Okay, so that should be us, I think.
Fucking sick.
Um, so, as of last time, because it was 2 weeks ago, because someone was away. What are you smiling at?
Because I know who it was.
Uh-huh.
Alistair.
So, you guys were inside an inn of a nearby town to Valasar, staying the night, when some shenanigans happened outside, and the place got kind of like tore up a bit by one of the Watchers, which are like ancient kind of constructs that were created years ago as some kind of like, I don't know, defense measure. You got chased around the place. You were getting like helping out some guy that was getting attacked. The innkeeper got piled through a wall, and then Mira came out, blasted him with lightning, and you guys all bailed out a window, and the Watcher fucked off because it was damaged. So you're now sitting outside the window. Actually, no. Can everybody roll an acrobatics check?
Nope.
Oh, of course you can.
Acrobatics.
Just to start this off well.
What is my acrobatics? Oh, lovely.
Oosh.
Alright. So...
I'm alright.
Okay, so... everyone kind of like gets out the window and kind of stumbles down. Hakon, Jonas, you manage to kind of like keep your balance and stay on your feet. Thonan, being a little gnome, you just kind of fall out the window and fall flat on your face.
Oh, fucking...
I chuckle.
And as you look up, you see a small kind of like spectral-looking owl just kind of sitting in front of you, just like right in front of your face. And Mira is standing there, like next to him, looking at you guys.
This some Harry Potter shit or what?
The owl just kind of like pecking about and moving about next to you. And then it
So
kind of like...
is it next to us or is it next to her?
It's down looking at you guys, but then like after you kind of like get to your feet and kind of stand up a bit, it flaps its wings and flies up and kind of lands on her shoulder and just sits there.
Right, okay. I thought we were dealing with a completely random, just fucking
Just a random spectral owl.
No. It's related to her. Like it's kind of now just sitting on her shoulder,
I'm not too keen about it being related.
chilling.
So, any other things that we need to be aware of?
It's night time. It's kind of like, well, it's not. It's like early morning. It's probably like 4 or 5 in the morning now. So it's starting to get light because it's summerish.
What was the state of the Watcher
The
when
wa-
we jumped the window?
The Watcher, like the last time you guys saw, apart from Thonan, it was like it looked as if it's been like shot through the chest. But
Right.
then you heard it like charge off again. Thonan, you stayed a little longer, and you know that it was like slowly kind of like rebuilding itself and repairing itself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, given the situation, there's no, like, has there been any, like, local authority involvement, or...
Not so far, because it was like it all kind of just happened fairly quickly. But yeah, you're currently at the back of this inn, just kind of like all kind of sitting about in the mud.
So, lads, think we should be on our way?
I just nod. And then start, like, moving off.
Yeah. As you go to kind of walk away, Mira's like, I think I owe you guys a bit of a explanation on things.
We can have
Yeah,
the
no.
explanation on the walk.
Okay.
Yeah, no shit.
So she's kind of like, is like kind of ruffling the feathers of the owl on her shoulder, and she's like, well, as Winston has decided to show himself, I believe he trusts you as well, but
Winston.
I'm not the kind of innocent prospect that's typically seen. I've actually been trained in like in the ways of shamanism and kind of special magics along with that to try and prepare me for this task, as it was believed that would be more fitting than simply just being a helpless girl set out with 3 protectors to do all the work for them.
Let's be fair, I did ask earlier on what you could do, and
Let's be fair,
you
I
were less than honest.
yeah, I wasn't intending to kind of reveal it right away, and I actually wasn't intending to reveal it so soon, but needs must and all that.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. If I knew that you could blow the shit out of robotic chests, I would have shouted on you sooner, having been chased by a large robot. So maybe one of us wouldn't have almost died. Maybe a lot of time could have been saved had we known that you could do that.
Yeah, well,
Who almost died?
Any of us that it got its hands on.
Nah, mate, I had it under control. It's fine.
God damn.
so,
I just asked in the future you keep us abreast of all of your goings on so that we can maybe save time. And yes, I just said breast.
Oppressed. Yeah. Well, in future I'll try and kind of be more influential. However, and she kind of like makes this a bit more apparent, is that as much as I would trust you guys enough to reveal my like truer intentions or like truer strength, I don't really trust the people we meet, as they would. I feel they'd respond better to this innocent young protector than someone who is in any way able to defend themselves. So when we're interacting with others who we don't know, please just kind of keep it under wraps and keep things a bit quiet for now.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Say no more. Say no more.
Has anyone got a copy of the map of this place? Because I can't remember the town we're in. And one of those.
I don't think Graham gave us a.
No, I don't have a detailed map of
Yeah,
this.
we didn't have a town name. I'm pretty sure it was just like the Squealing Pig or something.
Yeah. The
inn was called the Dancing Dog.
That's the one.
the town, I don't know if I actually gave it a name. It's basically like a suburb of
Some
Valasar.
shithole, yeah.
So it would probably still be considered part of it, but it's like if you imagine,
Portobello to Edinburgh.
yeah, kind of that kind of thing.
Except
where
nicer.
It's not so built
Yeah.
up in it's not so built up in between though. There's not as much like of a connection between the two. It's like if you imagined it maybe like 50 years ago, like that kind of thing, where the suburbs were more kind of separate, but just nearby towns.
Cool.
But yeah, you're around that kind of area. You're still.
Graham, could you resend me the link to the map because I can't seem to find it, or could someone else do it?
I have it somewhere. I'll do it if Graham keeps going.
Sure, so me.
Okay. It's just that I don't really want to link on Skype because it might mess up stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. So
Yeah, I'll
we
just
can
link it on Facebook.
Easy.
Oh yeah,
Maybe. Oh no, maybe I don't have it.
I have it. I'll send you it.
Thank you.
Yeah, where the fuck is it? Yeah, I've only got the travel info one.
But yeah, you guys can
Yeah, hold on.
just whatever you're doing just now. Feel free to.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Aaron.
I'm wondering if it would be a good idea for us to haul ass out of this town.
Yeah, what kind of time is
Yes,
it?
yes,
Gee.
yes. So
You said it was
Like, are we looking at where it's still the middle of the fucking night, or like is the sun starting to come up, or?
it's like kind of like 4 or 5.
Yeah, so it wouldn't
it's-
be outrageous for us to just kind of carry on, really. Like, we don't have to go and find somewhere else to stay.
No, like you guys could just kind of head out. I mean, you've not had that much rest, but you've had enough that you can kind of move on.
We could just, like, rest up early the next night, though, rather than having to...
yeah,
I think we should definitely make tracks out of here towards Fjallgar.
I agree. Getting
Yes,
going
100%.
ASAP would be a very good idea.
Yeah.
So let's go.
At least
then,
let's manage the damage if that thing decides to come after us, so we don't have to lose any more innkeepers.
Alright. As you guys kind of like head round to the kind of like front bit, you see that there's actually quite a few people kind of gathered round the inn. Like after hearing the commotion, a lot of people have come out. They're kind of standing in like whatever they would be wearing while sleeping and things like that, and they're all just kind of standing around, looking towards the two corpses that were originally left in the middle of the street and the debris that's now left all over the place of the various charging about.
What happened
Watcher.
to the guy that we saved?
He is currently inside the okay. As you walk out, you guys head round the front of the inn, and there's this kind of small crowd starting to gather, and as you're kind of heading round to the front, you can see that there's a big, massive hole in the front of the inn, where the Watcher kind of charged through, and inside there is like the small girl, the girl that you spoke to when you first arrived, kind of hunched over the body of the innkeeper, or like the innkeeper who's lying on the floor.
I don't want anything to do with that, so I just kind of walk past.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is kind of awkward. I don't know if the T's and C's are up to scratch. I think we should just bail.
Yep, I agree.
Right. Okay.
I'm not here for emotional goodbyes to fathers that are dead.
Right. Well, as you guys start to kind of wander off, Mira Mira like looks away and she's like, I feel like this being part of our doing, I should do something to help. And she kind of walks inside, and you can see her kind of like walk over and kneel down next to the girl and start talking to her.
I walk close enough that I can hear, but I don't particularly want to get involved.
Okay. So basically, Mira's just sitting down, and you see the owl, or Winston, just jump off her shoulder and land on top of the innkeeper, and Winston starts to glow slightly. And Mira takes her hands and puts them on the innkeeper, and you can see that where before he kind of looked kind of bloodied and beaten, his colour starts to return, and he starts to look a lot better, and starts to kind of look a bit more alive. And you can hear the girl seeming fairly overjoyed of things happening, but Mira doesn't really. Mira's not really saying anything directly. She's just kind of being like, "Oh, your father seems to be doing a lot better. Like he'll be fine. Don't worry about it." And then she gets up and heads back over. And as she's kind of walking towards you, she says, "I couldn't just leave the man there. He would undoubtedly have ended up dying from the injuries he'd sustained."
I understand.
So, and then she just kind of looks at you. She's like, which means that I can. So she's just kind of like, I'm very well trained in healing, and Winston is also very good at aiding people in need like that. Hey, don't diss Winston, man. He's the best.
Winston.
Well, I think you should probably just try and keep Winston out of the way while we're travelling, especially if you want to keep this under wraps.
Cool. So you guys just going to try and...
It's always a good way to keep things under wraps is by bringing people back alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. Are you guys going to head on and...
Yes, I want to leave the town.
Cool.
Yeah, I think
Even quicker now that we've just brought someone back to life that knows we fucked with
Try
it.
to get as little attention as possible.
Just immediately just try and walk out. Fair enough. Right, so you guys...
And by immediately leave, I mean like I'm bustling her out of the door.
Yeah. So you guys start to like head off, kind of down the road towards Fjolgar. It kind of branches off slightly. Mira seems to know roughly where she's going and kind of like directs you as best she can. A lot of it is quite well signposted though, so it's not as if you're like just wandering blind. And you're just kind of following the main roads down and going between the town you're currently at and what you'd assume is the first major town outside of Valasar. I had a name for it somewhere. But basically, it's taken the entire day's worth of travel.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
So you're arriving at this kind of smaller. It's much smaller, like smaller town than the one you were in previously. It's like it's not part of the capital. It's obviously it seems to be kind of surrounded by farmland, and there's a kind of larger forest to the back of it. And I still can't find the name of it. Is it Carnrig? Is that what I'm thinking? Yeah, Carnrig.
How do you spell that?
Karnring. What? Ring. Yeah. No N. I can't thingy stuff out. Hang on.
You can't spell?
No, I can't like say stuff out. Karnrig. Jesus.
Carnrig.
I'm horrible with that. Yeah. So you arrive in this. Yeah, you arrive in this town, and it's just kind of like one main road that goes through a lot of it, and then kind of winds off further up. You can see that it winds round slightly, like further up the town. It's kind of built up slightly up a hill, and on the top of it, there's a kind of large mansion-looking manor. It leads like kind of down from the hill. There's the forest kind of sweeping round and it arcs around the back of the town.
I would. I suggest that we scout around the forest and have a little look at the town, see what's going on from a distance first before we approach.
Okay, Mira just kind of looks at you. He's like, "Are you guys going to be wanting to do this for every town we approach?"
After what happened to you last night, yes.
It's like,
We've been attacked in a town, and you brought someone to life. I want to be safe, at least for the next couple of towns.
okay. She kind of looks at the other two, just being like, "Is that what you guys are wanting to do?"
Nah, not really. I'm just gonna walk through.
She just kind of turns to you and she's like, "I understand you are from like nomadic people." To you, Hakon.
I nod.
And she says, "I understand that your people have a more not religious, a more kind of a stronger belief to the duty of prospects inherent in the history of the Darkening, compared to a lot of the ceremonial beliefs that many of the other people of Valisar have. So to you, I may be someone to be protected, but to a lot of the people here, I'm someone to kind of turn to as more of a kind of not a political figure, but like a ploy to rally the people and make them kind of come under one cause. When prospects travel across the land, people see them and often would like to go and speak to them, and the prospects are often seen to kind of help out the people and do what they can. I don't.
Do as you please, Mira. I mean, we are here to facilitate what you want to do. I'm merely giving suggestions.
Okay, she kind of nods at you. She's like, I understand. If it was anyone else, I could see your concern, but. And she's kind of like not winks, but just kind of like gives you kind of like a kind of side eye, being like, I can look after myself.
I look her dead in the eye and I say, if you want to keep this under wraps, you better start acting like you can't do shit.
She's like, don't worry, I've been doing that my whole life. I've been training a long time in not just combat, but in also making myself look like a useless girl that I'm supposed to be. And as she says that, Winston just disappears.
Like literally disappears, or
yeah, like vanishes.
Walks off.
No, like vanishes. Like it's on her shoulder, and then just kind of like fades out. He does the fade away.
I extend my arm towards the town, indicating for her to just proceed onwards.
Okay, she starts kind of walking ahead of you guys, and just kind of strolling forward. There's a couple of people kind of dotted about the town, just moving in and out of houses, and she's waving at them and kind of doing just kind of try to be a face of your party and just waving about and keep smiling and try to look approachable. And a lot of the people are kind of smiling back, and there's some kids who are kind of like pointing and being quite happy.
Is there like a sorry,
off the
Graham,
kids.
go on.
Hmm?
Is there like a town like square or something like that? I'm thinking like notice board style of thing with like jobs and shit like that.
There's a kind of large park area, kind of at the bottom. Hang on, I'll draw the kind of rough shape of this town. So you guys are kind of like here, and there's a large road that kind of sweeps round like that, and then there's another one that branches off up the hill, and there's houses kind of all along it, and then there's the top of the hill. There's a giant ass forest next to it, and then these are mostly like houses and stuff around here.
Oh, apparently that's turned off.
So the kind of park area isn't like this kind of central area, if you can see roughly that bit.
Alright, yep.
As much as it's just a clusterfuck of black squiggles, there's somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there is a park.
Yeah, okay, so there's a park down there.
Oh, it's gone. Cool. Yeah, so I would kind of like to just go there and see if there's like, I don't know, a fucking town crier or a notice board or that kind of stuff. Or just maybe if there's like an inn, probably a reasonable place to have an inn as well on there.
Okay, so
Yep. I'd be willing to go and try and find an inn.
right, so hang on, where's
Although it might not suit Thonan's needs, is it? I've forgotten everything.
Hakon? Thonan's the midget.
Hakon's needs. Yeah, Thonan's the midget. So
Yeah.
yeah, it might not suit Thonan's needs for having an upmarket inn, but
It is fine. Brothels I'm interested in,
Uh-huh. So
and possibly pig farms.
right, so you guys kind of head down the street, and as you get closer, it kind of opens up into the middle of the park, and there's some smaller trees, some people kind of dotted about. There's some kids playing in the centre of the park. There is a large, kind of very well crafted, well adorned building. It's directly across from the park when you kind of walk into it. It has a large sign in front of it, and if MD wants to name the inn, feel free. You can name it.
Soulsby.
Let's just go with the greased pig. We'll go with that. That'll be funny.
How convenient.
Keep it good.
Okay, so you see a place called the Greased Pig. I don't know why it's called that, but it is.
I think we all know why it's called that.
Okay. And yeah, it looks to be a kind of inn of it. It looks really nice, but I think it's more like you kind of notice now that a lot of the buildings in this place are primarily made of wood, but it's like really well carved, really well polished and like looking wood.
Yeah.
As if this is something that the town prides itself on, is like having a kind of like
wood.
Yeah, like basically fancy wood carving areas.
Some trees.
Yeah, well, some towns have their own thing. Some towns have giant balls of stuff and yarn and things.
Hakon appreciates the
craftsmanship.
the amount of nature that's kind of kicking about.
That's been destroyed.
Yeah.
I can appreciate a town that's all about wood.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. So, what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm assuming the party, after a long travel and not much sleep last night, would appreciate an inn.
Yeah. I'd like to go into an inn and at least find out where we're going to be staying before we go off to explore the rest of town.
Cool.
Can I quietly discuss with go up to Hakon, and as we're walking up, so do you just I kind of whisper in his ear, Hakon, do you feel this would be a reasonable place for to use the pendant that shows that we are protectors and that we are here as doing what we're doing?
I feel that as long as Mira's okay with us revealing that she's a
Prospect.
she's a prospect and that we're protectors, then yeah, I'd be more than willing to do such a thing.
Okay. So yeah, then we'll just kind of carry on in.
Okay. So, you head towards the inn. Mira's still kind of walking slightly in front. You guys are just following on behind. And you walk in again into the inside, and inside it's just more of the same kind of idea of lots of well carved and well adorned wooden kind of surfaces. There's lots of tables that are nice and fancy. They've got lots of kind of like markings and engravings and stuff on them. It looks as if it's been very well and like expertly done. And there's like large rugs and stuff on the floor that seem to be kind of like large pelts of kind of various animals that you'd find in forest areas and stuff like that. It's very kind of like it's very kind of like bare bone basic, kind of simple looking, rather than the kind of stonework and metal and stuff that you'd usually get in some of the bigger cities.
Yeah. But I'm assuming we can tell that this is pretty nice for the area, given that there's like the pelts and everything.
Oh yeah. Like this is their way of trying to look nice. This is their way of trying to look fancy. Is like this is the best they can do, rather than if you were in like the top inns or the top hotels in Valasar, they would be. It would be all like marble and stonework, and it would look all like fancy. It would look like some kind of like Roman kind of place. Whereas this is more kind of just like a lodge and like a cabin. Looks kind of nice.
I'm gonna go.
Cool.
I'm gonna go up and talk to the innkeeper if he's at the bar or if he's at.
They have a small desk in the middle, like straight ahead as you walk in, that has a man standing behind it. Just a human, kind of like middle-aged, and he's just kind of standing with kind of like tailored jacket thing on that's kind of coloured based on the colours of the inn. Looks as if he's kind of like, it's basically their equivalent of like a uniform that he's wearing.
Interesting. Are you the keeper of this inn, sir?
He's like, no, I simply work the doors. How can I help you travellers?
Or you can point me in the direction of the keeper of this inn.
Like the master or the owner does not deal with customers directly. If you have a complaint, I could get him. But if you have any requests, then please, you ask me first.
Well, who churns the local rumor mill?
I would often hear things as travellers pass through. What are you interested in?
Anything and everything, my good man.
And he just kind of like. It's kind of like you can see he's thinking, just being like, what would travellers be interested in when they came here? He's like, well, there's a market happening this week that is in the town park. It's going to be held in honour of the lord of the manor, and we're going to be showing off a lot of the kind of carved materials and things, and you can probably purchase things there if you're interested in gifts or anything for taking anywhere else.
Will there be pigs?
We don't often have pigs around here. Sorry, is that something you're looking for?
Maybe. This manor, Lord of the Manor. Who is this?
It's the largest house up the top. He's the man. He basically owns most of this town. He owns the nearby lumber mills and provides us with much of this kind of like, and just kind of like pointing around to various things, being like our fine furnishings we have in here. He provides us with these, and we can provide these to travellers or to people who are interested. That's what our town is mainly known for.
Interesting. Do you have a name for this chap?
The Lord, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord Carlington is his name. But I wouldn't bother him at the moment. He just kind of looks and he's like, the Lord's two daughters went missing. Not more than a week ago.
Say.
Wait.
So him and his wife have been grieving their loss since. I wouldn't trouble them with anything. However, and he just kind of looks at you and just kind of like for the first time looks past the like Hawaiian shirt gnome in front of him to the guys behind like further back in the room. Is like, if you are, and he kind of like notices the fact that you guys look quite armored and you've got weapons and stuff. And he says, if you'd be at all interested in aiding the Lord in finding his children, I'm sure he wouldn't turn away the help. However, and he just kind of lowers his voice slightly. He's like, I don't think they would be alive at this point. And then just like he kind of leans back a bit, and his smile returns. And he's like, so can I get you rooms or anything? Is there anything you need?
Rooms would do fine. What are your costings, sir?
He says, we're very fair here. There's 2 silver per room for lodgings. That includes your bed and your meal in the morning. However, the meal at night is an additional charge if you want that as well. However, and he kind of looks over towards the bar area. He's like, we're not the best providers of food in this area. If you want something like that, there are many fine restaurants in the area. And he hands you, or like kind of slides forward like a kind of small piece of parchment that has like a very crudely drawn map. Probably better than
leafleted.
Probably better than the one that I did, but it's basically like kind of rough pencil.
Probably.
Yeah, it's rough pencil work of the town layout that you're in, and it's got like little indicators of where the best restaurants and stuff are.
I lean into Hakon and say, just for the now, discretion may be wise. And then I go to the guy who's like, you didn't give us his name, did you?
Beltred.
Okay. I was like, well, good evening, Beltred. We'll have 3 rooms, please, and give him 6 silver.
Is this map annotated to include whorehouses?
He just kind of he looks at you and he's just like, I'm sorry, sir, we don't actually have any of that kind of thing here. That's more things that you for the capital. We try to keep amongst ourselves here and kind of.
Oh no.
We're often. And he's just kind of looking at other people who've been like, is this it's like he's not really sure what to say at this point.
Thonan will not be pleased.
He is being deadly serious, sir.
And he's like, oh, He's like,
It
well,
doesn't need to be a whore house, possibly just the house of a whore. Like village bike, anything like that. Is there one of those?
The home of a whore.
he's like, I couldn't possibly comment on any of the people in this town. And he's just, and again, he kind of leans in, lowers his voice, like, it is a small town, they would hear of it.
I'm sure he would settle for your mother.
He's like completely just like, I must be going now. I must get back to work, and just turns off and like leaves through like the back room of the like through the back of the.
Do we have like keys to the rooms?
Oh yeah, they're sitting on the desk. Like you've paid him and everything,
Okay,
and
that's fine.
you've now just
I'm glad
affronted him, insulted his mother, and he's left.
Okay, so I'll just pick up the keys and just turn around and like, Hakon, I assume you'll be sleeping under the stars again.
I shall, sir.
So then,
As you say that, Mira looks at you. He's like, "Would you not?" I was like, "I believed you would feel more at home in a place like this." Just kind of looking around the place. Like, however, I understand that you've had a very different upbringing than most of the people in Valos.
Stars are the only roof I need.
She kind of looks. She kind of smiles a little bit, and she's like, I understand that. As much as I don't have the connection to the deities of your people, I have connections to like the gods of my own. I understand wanting to kind of keep that connection strong.
I.
You just hear this kind of distant hoot as you say that, Porno. So it's like,
I just turn to Nishoba, my wolf, and kind of just press her forward towards Mira and say, "Stay with Mira. I will be back. I'll be back shortly," and then leave out the door.
okay. He does the kind of like the kind of small puppy thing of as you leave, kind of turns around, starts walking with you, and is like looking up at you, and then
I just turn, point at Mira, and then walk out.
The server has been interrupted. Oh no.
You just hear like a whimper, and he sits down and waits. What server?
They're
Roll
all
20.
Yeah, I've refreshed it, and mine seems to be working again.
Mine was fine. I hope this isn't
to
going
be fair,
to.
we don't massively need it.
Yeah. Just bash on. It'll
just
work
roll dice.
eventually.
But my recordings, it's all going mental.
It's fine.
Well-
Right, so there's no whorehouses, and not even the house of a whore. So this is a thorough disappointment already.
Well, there might be a house of a whore, but he didn't want to comment on anybody that could potentially be one.
I hate having
You might want to try at the local bar.
I hate having to do that.
Yeah, there was bars and restaurants indicated on your little travel guide rather
Pretty
than.
much what I pay for.
The dirt bar.
Anyway,
But-
I don't think I could do much without a full night's sleep.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I suggest the part we just kind of rest up tonight, chill out, and then maybe go see Lord Carlington tomorrow, and because it might fit with Mira's as a prospect, she might be interested in helping out the local.
Try not to slap yourself with your headset.
I know.
That was me.
So it might interest her in helping out the local establishment and keeping peace as it be.
The best bit is we get to see you doing that like a Mongo.
I know, on video, yay!
Yeah.
I don't know if
This
I
is why
did that.
webcams were a
And then
great
I managed
idea.
it with a big fucking Tim's jug.
Okay, yeah. Mira agrees kind of wholeheartedly to getting a decent rest, seeing as you guys had what. I don't know, she probably had the most sleep out of all you guys, because I think you guys had like an hour sleep each.
Yeah.
Um,
Almost.
and she had like 4 or 5 hours, because she just went straight to bed as soon as she got into the inn.
Sure.
Did you say poor?
No, I didn't say anything.
Alright. Okay, so the night passes uneventfully this time. There's nothing charges into the inn, nothing happens drastically fucking things up. And when you awake, you find yourselves still safely
In the room.
safely in your rooms, and everything is fine.
Cool, I'll get up and wander down to breakfast then, I assume. Try and find a table like near a window so we can look out over the garden, because I assume Mira and Hakon would enjoy that kind of thing.
I'd be sitting at a table in the corner, waiting for them coming downstairs.
Oh, you're ready
I'll
up.
just go join you then.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Mira comes down kind of slightly later than you guys. I don't know when Thonan comes down, but Mira's kind of...
Had the most sleep last night. Most sleep tonight.
Hey man, she's lazy. So...
Pointer's printer's broken.
Oh well. So yeah, she comes down, gets some breakfast, sits down.
You better clean your room.
It is atrocious.
The one thing about mute. He can
Quick,
still hear us.
Someone phone him so his internet dies.
He's pointing at it and being like, they can see me, but they can't hear me.
Have you tried turning? Turning the printer off and on again.
He needs to not let his parents see what's going on right now. They'll get so confused. Like, but how can there's tiny people on the screen? I don't understand.
He was trying to make noises, and I'd already muted my mic, so it didn't matter. He needs me to go and fix his computer later on.
Called that.
Forever the
It's
IT crowd.
ridiculous. Anyway,
So while tech support's busy, you guys are sitting at breakfast and you have food.
yeah.
And the wolf stayed with Mira, and she seemed happy with that. They just kind of followed her
Over
about.
how to solve my current
Oh!
predicament of circumstance.
So, hang on, I should probably think it, right? So, Hakon, as you kind of look up, you see the wolf kind of bounding towards you. Quite happy to see you again. Mira's kind of walking down the stairs towards the table where you guys are. And you see that Winston is just sitting on top of the wolf, just riding it down the stairs as it's coming in.
I pay absolutely no heed, and I wait till she gets to the table and say, "I thought we talked about that owl."
And she's like... she's like, what owl? And he like disappears, like... It's like, there's only some who can see him. And it's like, I highly doubt anyone else here could.
I just shake my head and say, "You have not learned how to be subtle."
It's just like, there's a certain subtlety in being awesome and not letting people know about it.
I don't like the new you.
It's like this. It's like, sorry to say this. Yeah,
Changed.
I'm sorry to say this is the real
You've
me.
changed.
I mean, and she kind of like looks at you. She's like, I mean, if you want one of the other girls that I'm sure are wandering about the place, many would have died already. Just even getting outside their door. Those poor pampered girls.
Unfortunately, I don't think I stand a chance with Thonan around.
I don't think they stand a chance with Thonan around. This is like the first time she's actually acknowledging the fact of what he's been up to. I'm just kind of commenting on it.
I don't think that still counts. So nah.
Graham.
Mm-hmm.
If I looked at the map, would I be able to roll on essentially with my background to know on say knowledge local to be able to find a promiscuous bar that Thonan might.
I don't think I need
enjoy
your help
going.
finding dive bars.
Yeah,
No,
I think that he'll have all the experience that he will ever need in finding those places. The man
I would
that
just
openly
be-
requests a pig.
These are dire times.
I just thought we also might need it to go there for information on the Lord's daughters, considering there might be some
maybe
seedy
Thonan could,
individuals
get
there.
some information out of one of the whores.
Yeah, but no one CD takes Lord's daughters, alright? People who are almost Lords takes Lord's daughters so they can be Lords. That's how this shit goes down. Rich people are rich. That's
Yeah, but rich
How they
people
do.
shag prostitutes, and they talk a lot.
oh yeah,
So-
but there are no prostitutes. I would have smelled them by now.
They
And this is all at breakfast.
Yeah. Maybe they're well bathed or well bathed prostitutes.
I want to go and have a look at the lumber yards.
Okay.
I say that to the group.
Why?
Particular reason.
I want to see what they are. I've never experienced something like
Yards
that.
of lumber.
Well, I've never experienced anything like that before. Normally, when I see a forest, it's intact and living.
Well, you guys
Huh?
can go hug trees. I'm gonna go look.
I say I'll go with Hakon, but if we want to meet at the Lord's house about lunchtime, and we'll go see what it's about.
Yep, cool. I'm gonna go.
That's reasonable.
I'm
What does does
literally-
Mira want to? Would Mira like to venture out with Thonan?
No. She's
Why
like,
not?
she's like, well, as much as I feel it could be interesting watching this one at work, I feel I feel seeing someone kind of experience the world for the first time might be slightly more rewarding to see.
I disagree. I think that you'd be in for a whale of a time with that little Mongo.
Wales.
Wales? Yeah, porno's back.
It's going to keep doing that because it's the free version.
Oh, do you get like 10 minutes and then it's like, nope?
Yeah, pretty much. Or at least that's what I'm assuming. So, I say fair enough, but you'd learn a lot about life if you went with Thonan. Or
Not so much about
other
life.
things.
Not so much about...
I don't bother. I don't need any fucking help. I'm going.
Okay.
I suggest, Mira, as we're your protectors, you might be safer coming with two of us rather than just one.
Worst comes to worst, I can just plug out invisible. I'm really not that bothered.
Fair enough.
Fair do.
Lovely.
Okay, I would finish off my breakfast and then head on out with little Nishoba following on behind me.
Cool. Right, so Mira's heading with you guys, and Thonan is going to do his own thing. So, what do we want to go over first?
Thonan. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go with that first.
Alright, so, Thonan, what is your plans? What is your aims right now?
Right, I'm kind of trying to kill two birds with one stone by going around a bunch of these bars and scoping the locals for the shadiest looking bunch of them. And also looking for hookers.
Okay.
Or people who might be persuaded to be hookers.
Right. So there's a couple of kind of restaurant-looking buildings that have kind of, again, wooden tables outside, and it's the same kind of like fancy work and all that, and they're around the kind of like main park area. But the further you get out, like into the kind of like back streets and further away from that kind of main area, the less well off and fancy the town looks. It's almost as if the kind of initial kind of facade they have around that park and along the kind of like main road leading up to it is everything that the town has kind of put its effort into. And as soon as you get outside of that, it goes down quite a bit, or quite quickly. And you'd also probably remember that the little thing you were given, the little handout thing you were given with a description on it, it didn't have anything kind of referencing any of these back alleys. Anything that was, or like the back roads, anything that was highlighted on the map was on that main kind of area.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely going to the unlicensed. The unmapped bit, because that's definitely going to be where the fun's at.
Okay. So you start heading down some of these back roads. You see a lot of the people in the town just going about their business, just doing whatever. They don't really look kind of like they don't really look as if they're kind of like peasants or like impoverished in any way or anything. They're just normal citizens. But you kind of go about and you find a tavern that's kind of one of these ones that's into the side of an alley. I was going to make a reference to a game of where there's one of these, but no one would actually get it, so never mind. Oh no, never mind. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Basically, it's kind of a long alleyway, and in the side of it, there's it's like in Glasgow when you go down the steps into the bars. It's like one of those, and it's got a kind of like a sign at the top, and it's called the Strong Log.
Interesting. Must have a lot of fiber in his diet. I'm amused. Sweet. Alright, I'm gonna wander down into the Strong Log.
Right, as you go down,
Fat hog.
get a fat hog on the Strong Log.
Sounds about right.
Once you go inside, the kind of atmosphere is a lot different from the place you were in before, like when you were in the inn. This place is like kind of darker, dingier. It's underground, so it's not as well lit. It's also a lot busier. There seems to be for the amount of people you saw kind of heading into the town and kind of going through your stuff last night. There's a lot of people in here. There's probably like 30 people in this small bar. just sitting about. The tables seem quite packed. There's loads of different types of people, mainly who look to be kind of like farmers, workers, and just people who are kind of like typical labourers rather than anyone that kind of like works in establishments.
Interesting. Right. Is there any free space at the bar?
Enough for you, yeah.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna go... Yeah, I'm just gonna go get on top of either a free bar stool, or if there aren't any free ones, I'm gonna pick, like, an ugly-looking motherfucker and climb up on his lap.
Okay. So, there's like... There's one of those... there's like a small kind of like... table thing next to the bar that has like just random cutlery and stuff on it and whatever else they need to like eat. Most of it's wooden, and you just kind of climb up on that and manage to get up to the side of the bar and push your way in front of a couple other people who are trying to get attention of the bartender.
That's about right. Yeah, I just want to demand the bar keeps attention and ask for half pint.
All right. So he looks over and through a crowd of dingy-looking labourers sees a small gnome in a Hawaiian shirt and you instantly grab his attention just with that. And he walks over. He's like, "Oh, hello. You." He kind of doesn't really know how to address. He's like, "You're an interesting one, aren't you?"
Indeed, sir. I'm looking for a fat hog.
He looks at you like, "Hog? Like a pig?"
If that's what's readily available, then yeah, whatever.
He's like, "We don't really have pigs around here. Like, this is more of a like." He's like, "We're a logging town."
Right, logging town. I get it. Is Kenny around?
It's like, no, he's in the danger zone.
Alright, okay, cool. Any of the other kind of hog then?
As in,
I'm just gonna like wink at him and see if he gets the message.
he's like, well, there's a lot of alcohol flowing in this place, and there's a lot of females who could be given some kind of description, if that's what you're meaning.
Interesting. I'm also looking for information. I heard there was possibly some action going on in the kidnapping business around here. Is there anyone I could speak to about that?
He looked like, as soon as you say that, he looks. He's like, he's like, are you here? Are you been sent by anyone? Just kind of looks kind of slightly worried.
Well, that depends who's asking, and you don't look like someone who knows to be asking. I just want to know who I could be put in touch with, and I'll forget I ever spoke to you.
He's like, he looks at you again. He's like, did you? Hang on. He says, I assume your comments are based on the Lord's predicament. Yeah.
Right.
He's like, I'll be honest with you. No one here had would have any knowledge of this. All of us were kind of. He actually looks like genuinely saddened by it. He's like, as much as the Lord doesn't like very much in this town, his wife and his daughters were much more liked among the people. Like she would often come down and spend time with us. She would donate money to various establishments around the town to kind of help them out. There was a small kind of childcare service that she ran, which now she's it's not shut down, but she's not been seen since it happened, and we don't know how things are going to go. But it was a tragedy more than anything else. And then he kind of looks down like he's like, and I wouldn't be making jokes about that kind of thing. And it's not really a kind of like for your protection, but more kind of like because these like the people actually kind of like think it is kind of like a big thing because it's quite a small town, so something like that happening is seen as quite a bad thing to happen. Like it doesn't happen often.
Did Lord Carlington have any political enemies?
He's like, well, none that he'll openly admit, but some of the workers here have kind of commented on some disruptions at the lumber mill. They've been told not to speak of it, but of course, people talk. I don't really know the full details myself. I just know that there was some delays a few weeks ago that caused problems there.
Interesting. So, I thought Lord Carlington ran the lumber mill.
He does.
Right. So I'm assuming it's a kind of internal problem with management of some variety.
Well, the barkeep doesn't really know. Like, he's just saying that some of the guys have said that there was some problems the last few weeks, or like a few weeks ago, but they didn't really comment further on what it was.
Interesting. Anyway, what other rumors are kicking about town?
He's like, well, if you'd came here more than a week ago, I would have nothing to tell you. Not really much happens in this town. He's like, well, there's a lot of people here who have lived and died in this town, and there's a lot of people who will probably never travel outside of it. I'm sure you yourself look like someone who travels around much more, and I'm sure you will have seen more of the world than they would have. But for us here, we're kind of peaceful and keep to ourselves, really.
Excellent. Now, please answer the question. What's the chat?
He's like, there isn't any chat. It's like,
oh my god, fucking hillbillies. Right. Okay, good day, barkeep.
it's like the most like placid town.
Where's the fattest chick in this bar?
All right, so
She's gonna eat you.
she could. So you notice around the bar, there's a lot of kind of tables of mainly kind of like middle-aged or older men, and kind of dancing between some of the tables. I say dancing; it's probably a loose term. Wading between some of the tables is a very large woman who looks like she's almost kind of like that kind of German, like, if she had a name, which she does, it would probably be Helga. Like that kind of thing. Where she's a very large woman with large frilly dress on who's carrying about like flagons and tankards and like passing them between all the tables.
Is she full of chocolate and you can't make her run?
Possibly.
Right, okay. I'm gonna jump off the bar.
With a perfect dismount.
Okay, cool. I'm glad I didn't have to roll on that. Like, acrobatics hasn't been good. Right. I'm gonna go... How do I want to play this? Right. I am going to... Yeah, I'm gonna go and try and just kind of like shadow her through the bar.
Okay.
Like kind of follow about a foot behind her. And I'm gonna try and pick an opportune moment and try and trip her, preferably when she's holding like two hands that like full of booze.
Right, okay.
What's a CMD?
Don't get squished.
Yeah, hang on.
Thonan gets flattened.
Oh, my CMB.
2 con damage.
My CMB is not good, lads. I didn't think it was
Right.
committed.
I bet. Surely hers is low though, because she's.
Yeah, she's not expecting it. She's
top
moving
heavy.
about quite a lot. Yeah, she's very top heavy.
She's not dexterous.
She's not dexterous. Just roll to hit or to trip. With your CMB.
Here we go, lads.
And we'll see what you get.
Oh, that's actually
No,
Really good.
no,
With
you
a
rolled.
-2.
No, you rolled 20 minus 2. You didn't roll anything. You just did 20 minus 2.
Oh, right, my bad. I was gonna say that's awfully good. Also good.
Oh, okay. Doesn't matter.
Excellent. Right, so the plan is I'm gonna try and trip her from the back while she's got like a handful of beer, and then I'm gonna try and like mount the back of her as she's like falling around.
Okay. So you,
Inconspicuous,
she's like, yeah, she's like dancing between a table, and she heads back towards the bar and like spins round suddenly. And as she does so, you just manage to like put your leg out in front of her, and she kind of like just tumbles over it and falls forward into the kind of center of the room. And you're like grabbing onto the back of her as she falls. Yeah, the room parts, and you're just on the back of her.
Excellent.
The whole town
I
shuddered.
just wanted to ride her down to the floor, like being like Yahoo! Screaming about the place. Okay, yeah, I've had my fun. I'm gonna leave.
Right, hang on. You don't just get to ride some woman down to the floor and then just walk out of that place.
I cast invisibility.
Right, okay, that's even better. So basically, this woman just starts to fall, and you hear like the kind of like the banshee call of her falling down, with you being like "yeehaw" in the back of her, and everyone turns around to look, and they just see you like swinging around and going down with your little shirt, with your Hawaiian shirt on.
The captain goes down with his ship.
Yeah. She hits the deck. Everyone kind of turns around, like a lot of people turn around to go to help her, and they're just like, "Wait, what the fuck is this guy doing?" And then you vanish, and you just hear lots of like, "Oh my god, what's going on? What is this? Who are you? Where is he?"
I'm just gonna go sound some noises about the place, being like, "Oh my god, look at that gnome! I bet he has a massive penis." Just like from random bits in the bar as I kind of just slowly walk out,
All right, so
having had my fun.
shit is
Guys,
kicking
don't
off
look
at
at
this. Yeah,
explosions.
shit is kicking off at this place. People are really confused of what's going on. Like these guys have probably rarely seen any kind of magic. Never mind seeing a gnome disappear
With a Hawaiian shirt.
with a Hawaiian shirt on, and then random noises of talking about his penis.
Good.
At least there'll be rumors now.
Yeah, I mean that's some chat. That's an event that's happened.
It'll stick in their mind.
Yeah,
They certainly will not forget that.
that barkeep's like, see, where's that guy to tell him more stuff that's happened?
More stuff.
With the stuff that's happened. Okay,
Excellent. I'm gonna fly my way out of there and then make towards fucking Manor Hill or whatever pretentious name this guy's house has.
Matter.
do you guys want to take a short break now,
Yeah, sure.
and then we'll cut back to what you guys are doing,
Cool.
and we can go back to it later.
Cool.
I'm gonna go pee.